Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Get to Know Us. This time it is with Maxine of Phantómódel. We are celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the re-release remaster we did of their album Panic Picnic. And it's actually also the 2-year anniversary of a similar remaster re-release by Woven In for their album Hex to Death. And later on this evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having a listening party for both Phantómódel's Panic Picnic and Woven In's Hex to Death, and that will be on our that'll be on our Discord, and the link to how to join our Discord is in the link tree in our bio. And I'm going to bring Maxine on right now.
I think I got this.
Hello.
Hey!
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Yes.
Good to see you.
It wouldn't be a live Instagram thing if there wasn't technical difficulties. So
Exactly.
yeah, you having a good
technology, to be honest.
yeah. How are you doing today?
Existing. That's all I can say. How about you?
Oh no. Good. You're cutting out a little bit. Oh no, I hope we don't have those kinds of problems too. Am I coming in fine for you?
My internet is garbage. So hopefully it won't be too bad.
Okay. It keeps like kind of like slowing down, and you're a little bit out of focus for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that.
I know. Well, let's just see what happens. Hopefully it'll be cool. And if it's not, I don't know. We could hop on Discord, but then obviously people who aren't on there wouldn't be able to
My
wouldn't be able to
roommate
check it out.
for me to go to the living room, so maybe I could try that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little hard. I was like not catching every word that you were saying,
That's
and it's a
something.
picture.
This is why we
Yeah, we I
Okay.
used to have really poor internet out where I live, so I understand the struggle. It's only recently gotten better.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Say
far,
what?
yeah, it seems a little bit better.
I think it's better. The router is like right there. I'm like standing next to it. That's just what
Okay.
I have to do, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I was just letting everybody know we were celebrating like the 2-year anniversary of the re-release remaster of Panic Picnic, and yeah, so I guess let's just get into it. Yeah. So yeah, when did you start first getting into music, like as a listener, and if you wanted to talk about that, or like a favorite song or album
The
or
listener, literally since childhood. I think I started like getting really into classical music and jazz when I was like 3 years old. And then
oh
I
wow.
went from there. I didn't really get into like alternative music until maybe like fifth grade, middle school, that kind of age range. But I've been into music like since I was in the womb, probably. Like it's always
Yeah.
part of my life.
Yeah, sure. Like, is there like a first album you remember ever buying or anything like that?
I can't remember which Linkin Park album, but one of those.
Okay. All right, cool.
It was my favorite edgy band that I
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. And like when did you when did you when did you start writing and recording like your own music, and how did that come about?
So, my first instrument was piano, and I was like, when I was really young, like in elementary school, I would like write piano compositions. Um, and it was just kind of like a personal thing. I wasn't really doing it for any reason. It was just something I liked to do. Um, but once I like moved to Richmond in like 2017, that's really when I started like writing my own music. I started like writing lyrics and poetry. I started getting into recording and stuff, and I like wrote some of the first Phantómódel songs in 2017. That would be later released in 2019, but that's kind of when it all started, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. So was Phantom Model like your first musical project? Or
Yeah,
yeah,
it's,
okay, cool.
it's still going.
Yes, yes, yes. I know because you're working on a new album, which is really cool. So I wanted to see like if you wanted to if there was anything you wanted to share about Panic Picnic, and then like anything you might want to say about what you're working on now.
With Panic Picnic, I guess kind of like the same thing with like when I first started getting into writing, like a lot of this, pretty much all of the songs on that EP, that's when I like first started writing music ever. Those are like the first songs I ever wrote. And
Oh
that
wow.
kind of style, I guess. Yeah, the first thing I ever released and wrote with lyrics, guitar, bass, drums, like all of that shit. Yeah, that's what Panic Picnic was. And then the new album, I don't want to say too. I don't want to give too much.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm working my ass off because I'm pretty much like I'm doing all of the production, all of the writing, and the recording. So it's just kind of like beating my ass low key, but it will be out there in the world soon someday. Um,
Yes, yeah, well, we definitely look forward to it and look forward to like helping you get it out there. I'm really excited. Just little snippets that I have
I
gotten.
know it's hard for me not to like share little samples because I'll like go to mix and I'm like, oh my god, this sounds fucking fire, and I like want to share it, and I'm like, I'm gonna give away my whole entire album before it's out, and so I've had to like refrain from doing that, but I don't know. It's
Yes, I hear you with that. That is like a I've gone through that myself, so I know what you're talking about. Like you just sort of want to, especially when you get something done, you just kind of want to put it out there. But then
yeah.
there is definitely something to be said, like taking pause, sitting on it for a while, waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And well,
Burning
I know I,
sugar.
yeah, I know once you do have it ready, it is going to be amazing. So I'm very excited about it. Um
Hype.
yeah. Yeah, so I guess if there was anything you wanted to talk about as far as like influences on Panic Picnic or even what you're doing now, it could be musical influences, doesn't have to be musical influences, like anything you might want to share in that regard.
I have so many musical influences that it's like overwhelming to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm really okay. Basically, the biggest like music scene that influenced me is like the late 70s, early 80s post-punk scene. Bands like Bauhaus, Cocteau Twins, Exmo Deutschland, like that kind of realm. I'm also
sure.
really influenced by opera and classical music. I've been like kind of changing my vocal style and like sliding in some opera in the new stuff. So there's that. Really into like new wave stuff. I like a lot of Japanese new wave and post punk. Like some bands are Madame Eduarda, G Schmidt, Sadie Sads are some like underground Japanese avant post punk that I'm really into and influenced by. And And those are like what comes to mind, like off the top of my head. But
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
big Cocteau Twins fanboy. It's really obvious if
Yes. Me
you're
too.
never about it.
Yeah, they're an awesome band. So yeah, yeah. And you could definitely tell like there's some of those influences are coming out through your, through your music when you hear it. Um, and is there anything that you're like listening to right now that you wanted to share or?
Pretty much all of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Artist. I forgot to mention Jin Togawa. She's a Japanese avant-pop artist from the 80s. She does like new wave pop kind of, and she's probably my biggest like vocal inspiration. She does a lot of like
Okay.
50 different voices that she does, but
Oh,
like
wow.
are like she does like a really deep um voice that I like a lot, that I've been practicing like my lower range a lot, and she does a lot of like operatic vocals that I really like mixed with like weird synth and just weird ass lyrics. She's one of my biggest influences currently. Yeah, I'd be listening to her, Cocteau Twins, a lot of Exmal, Deutschland. I also like Dance Society. Anybody love them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, those are a lot of really good bands you're into for sure. I tended to like, especially like growing up, kind of veer towards that type of music as well. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, which I think you could
lives
you
in
could
my
kind of
heart.
tell. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about like, well, with Grimalkin, we mutual aid and so forth. Is that kind of work is really important to what we do. When we do a tape release, like tape proceeds typically go to a different organization. And I know that you've been involved a little bit with, I think, Third Wave Fund, and they're a really cool organization. So I wanted to see if you wanted to share anything about them and what you did with them, and um, maybe like your thoughts on when when we release our new album, because we definitely want to do like a tape release.
Oh
What you
no,
might be thinking.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, Third Wave Fund is like a philanthropy organization, and they like provide grants to different like nonprofits for like various social justice causes. But basically, the program I was part of was called the Sex Worker Giving Circle, and basically like the people who were like fronting that program were all like either current or former sex workers, and basically we learned how to make decisions and like move money for different like nonprofits, and we had to like make decisions based on like what are the identities of like people in this organization, what are their missions, like what communities are they helping, and like since we have like that firsthand experience in the sex trade, like we were the ones who got to make decisions about like who is like the most marginalized, or like who should we prioritize and like give this money to. And that's like basically what we did. We had like decision making meetings, and like we met with like different nonprofits and had like interviews with them and like learned how to review grants. And yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was also a lot of community building, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a really awesome opportunity for you not just work with other people and meet and collaborate with others, but that's also a really great way to make decisions too, as an organization to help others, is to have people who've obviously been impacted, be a
Yeah.
part of that process. So that's really, really cool. Yeah. And as far as so, another thing that Grimalkin's trying to do is also make changes, within music, positive changes. So like we envision a world where, dedicated artists can actually make a living wage. We're obviously really far from
Yeah.
that happening. And there's a lot of reasons for that. So I guess I always like to hear people's opinions about, either issues, or it could be what you think you're seeing is going well too within either like the local music scene that you might be involved in, although I know that's kind of difficult since we've been in a pandemic,
Yeah, I
or
haven't
just
been in 2 years. Like,
I feel like I'm really out of what's happening in
I,
Richmond in general. I'm thinking about trying to like get back in and see what's happening, but we are still in a pandemic. So, but
yeah.
yeah, and just like or if you want to just talk more generally, about things that you would like to see changed within, within music, whether that's the business or industry or the scene, whatever you want to talk about. If there
I
is a scene
guess
anymore right now.
there's like a couple that come to mind, and I feel like I can mostly speak on like DIY events, but I guess like it can kind
Yes.
of apply to like venues and generally the music industry, like festivals and shit like that. But I think that like one thing is like, yeah, we're still in the pandemic. Like the pandemic is like a huge, huge reason why shows are so unsafe right now, especially if people are going like unmasked and whatever. And so it would be cool to see more options for online shows, like online benefits, like people streaming again. Like I was part of a online benefit called .net with Ice Cream Social like
Oh yeah.
last year. I'm like, what is time? I don't know. But I was
It does seem forever ago, but then I don't
yeah,
know.
it was really cool and I like haven't really, maybe I'm missing out, I don't know, but I haven't really like seen a lot of events like that happen. I don't feel like it's very like normalized for there to be streaming events, and it's like it's good for that kind of thing to be normalized right now because of the pandemic, but also because like I just think a lot of show environments, like especially DIY environments that I've been to, are very inaccessible. I think like first of all, like where's the seating? There should be way more seating and options for people to like sit down. Um, and I think there should be easier access to things like bathrooms or doorways when you're in a place. I think I've seen a lot of like like house venues that are like way too small to have shows, and like they just get like jam packed, and it like makes it like very physically unsafe for people to be in there. And so it's like especially harder for people who do have mobility issues and other disabilities like that to navigate an environment like that. Um, and so I
Yeah.
think like those things, like those are just things I've like seen a lot, that I definitely think could improve. And I think people like organizing these events should have disabled people in mind more often. Um, and
Yeah.
I guess another thing that came to mind for me was like, especially with DIY events, and I guess this could like further, but I feel like there should always be somebody at an event, at a show, who you can contact or reach out to, like whether afterwards or at the event, if you're made to feel unsafe, if you see something like sketchy happening, if someone's injured, someone's blacked out, someone's getting harassed, something like that. I feel like there should be more support for that kind of thing because personally I've seen like a lot of disturbing shit happen, and I've seen people get put in really harmful situations with a huge lack of community care, like shit happening and like people just going about their business because they're at a show. They don't really care about the people around them. And it's like anything can happen, you know? So I
Yeah. I
feel like
definitely
there's
agree with that. Yeah.
awareness, you know, and more like community care put into organizing events. So
Yeah. I feel like it's probably because I all the shows that Grimalkin has been involved in, we make a point of saying like you can ask these people if like we have that written on the event page and whatnot that if you
yeah,
have an issue. But so I feel like I probably have gotten used to or thought that that's what is normal, but it probably is not very normal. Like it's probably
It's like there's like for sure people who already do that, and that's fucking sick. Um, yeah, I just wish it was like
the
more
standard.
normalized. Like I wish it was just like a regular thing that like you could expect to go to a show and it not be a harmful, triggering, inaccessible environment because that really sucks and it makes people not
Yeah.
back and that sucks. So
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And as far as like online shows too, I know there's a few people who are doing them. Like, and if you wanted to get involved, I could easily connect you. I know like Amplify Music, believe they're still doing online shows, and they've had a bunch of different Grimalkin artists. I put out the call for it, but it's like, not everybody's always checking out checking out emails, but I know they do. And then around the campfire, um, uh, Lily, who's long neck, I know she puts on an online show. I think a few monthly. Like I think some of them might be even happening weekly. So that's something that I do know is happening. And then I think there's some other people who are doing them, but I don't know how open they are to people outside. Like I think disposable tapes, or is it disposable? I forget the exact name, but they're another label, and I think that they're doing online stuff too. I know we would like to do more of that. It's just the technical stuff involved in it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's
what
always
would Yeah, like so Eli's got a handle on all that stuff, but me, I not so much. And it's basically expecting other people to help. And in terms of like what it comes down to is I think that that's definitely something I want to see sticking around regardless of the pandemic, so that once we have like money that we can like actually pay someone to manage stuff like that, so it's not like people just donating time like when they can, because yeah, it's just hard to make it consistent. Like I think we could easily do like a one person stream, not too difficult. Not that would not be a difficult thing. Like so if you wanted to do that, I think we could make it work, because that would just be a matter of like you downloading the OBS program, and then what Eli's what Eli's doing to help us out though, it just hasn't happened yet because their plate is super full, and they help when they can. They're putting together like a little document for people as to like this is the program you need, these are the settings it should be on, so that we can like I can like give that to someone, and then me and that person can do a sound check together, and if it's cool, then I could just run the show. Um, but if it's not, then I could like connect them with Eli so that Eli could help the person troubleshoot. But we need like a kind of like a system in place for it, and it's just been slow. It's been slow to coming about.
with Zoom, like if you have a backing track, like it's all good and fine, but if you do like live vocals, it's like a millisecond off.
Yeah, yeah. So this would just be OBS, and you would like, so with OBS program, like you have your interface, you just be on your computer, and then you'd have your instruments connected into your mixer or your interface or whatever. Um, and you could have different tracks playing, and we wouldn't have to have Zoom at all. Like, and it would just get live streamed to like our YouTube or whatever. Um, and it wouldn't be, and that's exactly what Around the Campfire does. Um, they just do OBS, and basically everybody just like you get like it's called I forget something key, and it's just basically a code that you put in to the program so it knows it's going to your YouTube channel or whatever. And so basically each person would just hop on one after the other to use it. Which for me, I feel like me managing it all would be too much having multiple people. But I think if it was like, if we had a document where it said like, this is how you do it, and I could troubleshoot with somebody and then just have one person shows. That's definitely what we're trying to do in the near future. I'm just waiting for Eli to get the document ready for us, and then I kind of put out some feelers as to who wants to test it out, and like let's see if this works.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's going to happen soon. It's just we just want to have more of a process in place so that I'm not having to necessarily ask Eli over and over again, like for help, because like tech is not my strong suit, but I did play 2 online shows and I have used OBS before, so I'm sure that I could at least help people with the minimum. It would just be a matter of like, if they have these settings on and it's still not working, I would not be the person to be able to like troubleshoot that. So like, but if we planned ahead, then I could give Eli the heads up at that point, and then like we could schedule something. So it is going to happen for Grimalkin. It's just probably going to just be one person shows, not like multiple people. At least at first, you know, because I think
The show. It's all about you.
yeah, I mean, well, what would be my idea for it anyway would be like your album release is coming out, so it makes sense, you know, to have and with online shows, I don't know if people like their attention span, so just having one performer might be, you know, might be a better option anyway for people, and especially if it's like your album release. So instead of like in a typical, you know, venue, you'd have a bunch of people playing with you. In this case, it would just be you live. But I think it'll happen. It's just I am working on it. Grimalkin's working on it. Because I definitely don't want to see online shows go away for that accessibility reason. But also, I also like hope it would be really great if like even house venues and definitely venues who might have the technology would incorporate that more into their, you know, like
Yeah,
I think it would.
that would be
Yeah, I think it would be really cool. I just think it's going to take like people like us just sort of like make pushing it, you know, like when we're going to places and asking for it and whatnot. But the good news is at least Grimalkin is working on it. It's just everything we do is kind of slow just because, you know, the lack of money, like I said, is is a big part of it. And so like when you're either I'm doing everything or I'm asking other people to do it and they got to fit it in on like when they have time because we just don't have the funds or whatever.
yeah.
But it's going to get there. Um
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I guess like as far as anything else you wanted to talk about that you wanted to see change, or just even like words of words of wisdom, if you wanted to tell everybody, you know, as a like a ending word of,
Wear it.
what'd you say?
I said, wear your mask.
Yes.
Please do it. Yeah, and look out for your community always.
Yes.
All I got.
Those are good words. Yes, please with the mask for sure. Yeah, and so yeah, for everybody who has who's checking in to check this interview out, we are celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the re-release remaster of Panic Picnic by Phantómódel. Also, it's the same anniversary for Hexed to Death by Woven In, and so tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're having a listening party. We're going to be listening to Panic Picnic and Hexed to Death back to back, and you'll have an opportunity to ask Maxine of Phantómódel and Mariah of Woven In any questions about their album, their music, their recording process, or anything else you want to talk about during that time. And you just have to if you haven't joined our Discord, then just do that now if you can. It's there's a link to our Discord in the link tree in our bio. And we hope to see you tonight. And I'll definitely see you later then, Maxine. And I really appreciate you coming on and talking with me, and for bearing with all the technical issues. Oh my gosh, and I totally forgot to ask you, your production and recording room, do you you're recording. You were going to show us. We forgot because of the internet problems. Do you want to end it with showing people your report?
Let's try, and if it fucks up, it fucks up. But
Okay, yeah, we just give it a shot and pray for the best. The internet got better out in the living room, but let's hope. Let's see. Let's hope we can catch a view of.
Because this hallway is like a mile long. Sorry, y'all.
Yes, I'm glad I remembered though. I was like, oh my gosh, I almost forgot, and that's because we moved out of your rooms.
Okay, so we're back. This is, I don't know how the lighting, this is my stuff.
Oh, it looks so good. Look at those cool petals.
It's really disgusting.
What? I didn't see anything gross. I saw some cool petals.
Okay, and then these are my instruments, my baby. It's my
Yay.
bass over there.
Beautiful.
Another amp. And then this is the studio right here.
Ooh.
Speakers. I got my cassette deck. This is where I dub the tapes. I actually have a bunch.
Yay. Oh yes, get some tapes from that. Maxine has tapes of Panic Picnic. You need to go to the Bandcamp, right? They're on Bandcamp, or do they contact you? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can order it through Bandcamp. I don't have any more right now. These are like the
last
ones.
Okay, up. You snooze, you lose.
Ordered it for me. I'm sorry. You will get it soon. I promise.
Okay, cool. So people can still order it, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Wanted to see the.
Yes, and you handmade these all.
Yeah,
handmade.
they're
Very
handmade.
cool.
They have like art on the inside. Hold on, I need to like put my phone down. But yeah, like for example, it has different art on the inside. Like I drew this.
Yes.
Somebody's head on a candle melting, casual. But yeah, there's like 4 different designs for the cassettes, and it's kind of
that's so cool.
Which one you'll get, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But yep, that's the studio. People always they think I'm talking about like a legitimate recording studio, like a professional. I can a legitimate recording studio, but it's not what people think,
Yes. Well, I mean, it is legitimate, even if it's a home studio. Yeah.
Sorry, it's really dark in this hallway.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad we got to see it. I can't believe I almost forgot, but I got distracted by like trying to get the internet working, right?
That's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is really cool. So, all right, well, I'll see you a little bit later tonight, and I hope other people show up. And yeah, I'll talk to you then.
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You take care. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.